Hello, friends. This is Chef Ski here today. And today's episode, I'm going to be working with this absolutely gorgeous freshwater salmon. And let's go ahead and get going. And now that we have taken our fresh salmon, we put it through its bath of fresh water. Go ahead and clean up all that nasty gunk that was packaged with. Now we're ready to go ahead and go through this um, fresh salmon. And what we're looking for now is to have, as you can see, I'm running my hands through this. So what we're getting to do right now is I'm feeling for any needles pin needles that may be left into it. So right now it looks like this is pretty good. So all the way through the bottom, top, and the center. And this is actually a gorgeous piece of salmon. So now I've checked for the free fresh water, done this, checked for any needles. Now what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to pat dry the salmon. When we remove all the liquid, all that moisture from the freshwater bath, we want to go ahead and dry this out. So if you got some paper towels, you need a lot of paper towels. To go ahead and start. As you can see, I'm pat drying it. I'm not rubbing it. I'm just pat drying it to go ahead and remove that moisture out of this salmon. And I'm going to turn around and going to be doing the same thing to the back side of this. Now you see me go ahead and flipping it over, and I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. This time I'm not worried about pat drying it. So yes, no, because it's got the skin on it. I am just go ahead and rubbing it down right now to go ahead and remove the excess moisture that's on the back side of this gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous salmon. This is 3.75 pounds of unbelievably fresh um, pink salmon that we're going to be working with today. So now that we have it done, pad dry, I'm going to be starting with the skin side up and start putting on my dry rub that I've already got prepared. As you're seeing now, I'm getting ready to go ahead and I've got my dry rub brine prepared. This is a combination of brown sugar, salt, pepper, and dry dill wheat. So I've got 2 cups of packed brown sugar, half a cup of kosher salt, tablespoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of dill that I've mixed up previously. And as you're seeing right now is I'm just going through and I'm just patting it onto the backside. I'm not going all that heavy on the backside, but we do want some um, brine on the backside of it. Once I have that done, then I'm going to be flipping it on over and I'm going to be doing the meat side of this. Just making sure that I've got as much coverage as I can. Like, so I'm not really worried about getting it all on the backside. The skin's actually going to be protecting a lot of that from the heat stuff when we go ahead and put it into the smoker. Now I'm getting ready to go ahead and be careful. This is a delicate, piece of meat. Flip it on over, and we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing with this side. The meat side is go ahead and pack it in with the brown sugar, kosher salt mixture that I have prepared with it. This side, yes, we do want to make sure we get really good coverage. So take your time, don't rush. Just get sure you get full coverage. Everything is packed in onto your salmon from head to tail. Just go ahead and work it on in with your hands. Just take your time. We just want to make sure we get it all covered. And now, as you can see, I do have it fully covered. Now I'm going to be go ahead and lifting it off. Getting ready to go ahead and put it onto a wire rack. I can see already that the salt brine with the brown sugar is already starting to pull moisture out of that piece of meat. It's called reverse osmosis. And just kind of clean it up. Now, as you see, I've got it onto its rack. Now, when I've got ahead and finished up, just one last check. Make sure we got it all the way we want it. And then I'm going to be ahead and putting this into the refrigerator overnight. And I'm just going to be taking one last shot. Just go ahead and get a money shot of this. And now it's going to be going into the refrigerator overnight. And I'm panning on around. This is March, and this is an absolutely gorgeous day out here where I'm at. You can see I am waterfront property. This is my outdoor kitchen. And bring it on down here to the smoker. I've got the smoker set up to where it's going to cold smoke. I got it set for 106 degrees smoker temperature, and I'll be smoking this till about 140, 145 degrees in internal temperature. So here I am. I'm bringing, oh, this is one big piece of meat. Okay, I cornered this a little bit so I can fit it in here. There we go. Slide it on in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hook up my probes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's all in there now. And I'm going to go ahead and close this door. Here we go. And we're going to smoke it for about 2.5 hours, and I'll be back. Okay, and this is now the smoked salmon, and look at this gorgeous piece of meat. It's reached 130 degrees internal temperature, and now it is ready to go ahead and having the basting put onto it. Let's see if I can go ahead and do this. Okay. So this is the apricot base that I'm putting on here. And I'm going to be basting this about every 15 minutes. This is just absolutely gorgeous. And at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and be putting on the shrimp. I'll put that on the rack right above. This is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and again, look at this absolutely gorgeous piece of meat. Now this is the shrimp that I'm going to be putting on it, and you can see that it has gotten I got an herb and citrus dry rub putting onto it. I'm also going to be putting it in to the smoker to go ahead and begin smoking. It's not going to take long. It doesn't take the shrimp that long to smoke. So I'm doing it at the same time that I'm doing this. So we now have the shrimp in here. We have the salmon in here. And I'll be back in about 15-20 minutes. And right now what I'm doing is I'm rendering the bacon. And when you're rendering bacon and onion, you always start with the bacon first, then come back in with the onion. So I'm in process right now of rendering the bacon, then I'll bring in the onion. Then go ahead and do the Brussels sprouts for the Brussels sprouts. And then we'll go ahead and get this all wrapped up. I'll be back in a few minutes. Now I've just added in the onion, and you can see that the bacon is beginning to render down. So I'll go ahead and render down the onion. Once I have both these ready, I'm going to set it aside and bring in the Brussels sprouts and go ahead and finish this dish up. Now, as you can see, I've added in, I've cleaned out my cast iron. I've added some olive oil into it, and as you can see right now is I am now beginning to saute my Brussels sprouts. So I'll go ahead and get a nice brown on them. I'll flip them on over. They'll go ahead and be done, and I'll be on back. Now, as you can see, I've gone ahead and flipped them on over. So I'm finishing up the saute on these for this fantastic salmon baked, I mean not baked, but smoked salmon, garlic, shrimp, saffron rice, and balsamic Brussels sprouts. At this point, what I'm doing now is I'm boiling the water for the rice. So I'm bringing it up to a boil. Now the rice is added in. I'm going to bring it back up to a boil, drop it down to a simmer, cover it, and I'll come back later. Here's that salmon. Look how flaky that is. And patting it on the way, you can see the Brussels sprouts, shrimp, as well as the saffron rice that I made to go with that. So I'll go ahead and pull this on out to get the nice shot here. And today, my foodie friends, I showed how to dry brine a whole salmon. Then we put that gorgeous filet in the smoker and cold smoked it to an eternal temperature of 140 degrees. And then we basted it with an apricot glaze. In addition, we smoked some shrimp and dressed it with some citrus and herb seasoning. To balance out this epic meal, we made some Spanish yellow rice with infused saffron and also marinated some Brussels sprouts. Now, for a personal note, this dry brining process I showed you today, you can use it on any meat. I also do my whole chickens, whether I spatchcock them or I do them whole, allow them to go ahead and dry brine overnight. I just don't use any brown sugar on it. I just use the salt and pepper with that. But you can use this on any meat that you want. Now, I'm hoping that you're able to take something away from this today's episode. The whole purpose intent is trying to teach how to cook. And I want to thank everyone for your support with me and with this channel. God bless. Keep on cooking from my kitchen to your table. Enjoy.